another episode of Sarver's RC. Today we got the Sledge out. Like I said in that Hurricane Hillary video, it ended up suffering a bent chassis, so we ordered up this GPM unit and we're going to do an install video on that. I'm probably going to time lapse most of it. I mean, the basics is you're going to take every single thing off of it and start swapping it over to the new chassis. Pretty straightforward as far as that goes. The only thing that I've seen on this chassis is you have to do some trimming of the rear bumper and whatnot, with this thing being thicker, to be able to fit that on. So we'll go ahead and cut this thing open. Comes with a few screws. Sure, there is a way that you could use your stock receiver box, but they recommend using the Arma receiver box, and I'll put a part number in the description for which one you need to use. But it essentially mounts on top of the motor mount and diff mount here. Besides that, is pretty straightforward. I'm going to see if the ESC mounts up anywhere on this to where we could just essentially use it like that. If not, M2C makes a reverse motor mount ESC plate. So if we run into an issue with mounting it up, I'll go ahead and order that up and throw it on. Don't expect the truck to be running by the end of this, but hopefully get everything swapped over. And also going to throw the new Radio Link receiver in it so I can start using that RC8X. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'll set up the time lapse and start tearing this thing apart. Alright guys, so there you have it. Hopefully the time lapse wasn't too long. I'm going to have some music playing during that, so hopefully you enjoyed that. At a pretty good stopping point. You know, the truck is essentially done, short of the modification to the rear bumper where you're just going to have to basically trim this excess off to be able to fit the back of the chassis since it's thicker. I think I am going to order up that M2C ESC plate strictly because I plan on doing some videos with different combinations of ESCs. So you could easily sticky tape this down, double side tape it, and you'd be great. You could see that it fits. This is not hard mounted, but this Arma receiver box is going to sit right here on top. Just not going to cinch it down now because I still need to adjust gear mesh and get the electronics in, but you get the gist. So reverse motor mount. This is going to allow you to run way longer cans, anything you want to do there. The motor mount itself, really easy to adjust mesh instead of the stupid alignment block and having to do the screws from the bottom. So that's an advantage. All super high quality. Everything went together great. So yeah, this is the gist of what it's going to look like. This chassis is way heavier in a good way. So of course I had a battery die when I was almost done with the video, but as I was saying, chassis thicker in all the right places. It is completely machined, so it's not stamped like the stock chassis. And now that I got this thing off, I mean, you could see there is a major bend where the motor mount was. So hopefully you can pick that up on the camera, but dented just right where the motor mount was, so couldn't get mesh anymore. So that's the gist of what it's going to look like. Also with the SurePass motor fan installed, that way we can keep temp school on the motor. Go ahead and wire this all up. Pretty straightforward on that. I'm sure you guys know how to plug pins into your receiver and whatnot, but go ahead and pull this out. As you can see though, looks pretty factory. Just need to connect the servo arm when I can get power to it to zero it out, and essentially at that point the truck will be mostly done. Unfortunately for that ESC plate, I'm pretty sure it goes in the stock motor mount location, so I'm gonna have to pull the skid plate off. But there's a look at it. Look from underneath. I was able to utilize the skid plate again, short of one screw. And then I'll have to do the trimming on the rear bumper, as I said, to get that to mount up. But the truck is essentially done. Super happy with it. Super high quality from GPM. Nice finish. So very pleased with this. Hopefully it's going to hold up a lot better. Motor mount and diff mount is looking great, honestly. I love the adjustability and whatnot. So as always guys, please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you want to see, and hopefully soon we will have this truck ripping and I'll do a first run with that. Thank you guys.